Bonjour, mesdames et messieurs, bienvenue à Choses Informatiques.
Hello.
I'm Dave, and with me today in IT Stuff are Chris.
Hello.
Hello.
And she.
Hello.
Hello.
And Dick.
Hello.
Hello.
And Paul.
Hello there.
Hello.
And our special studio guest today is Adele.
Hello.
In fact, that's Adele in Spyron 1545.
Hello.
You're all supposed to laugh at this point. I don't know why I bother.
You didn't hold up the card that says applause.
We're thinking about putting this on YouTube, by the way, viewers, because it gets, income stream for BCB, isn't it, really? Yes. Yeah, everything's monetised these days, including snooping. So there you go. In the show this time, we're talking about TalkTalk getting balked. We're paying billions for the illusion of security. We're hearting the Twitters, and we'll have She's inaugural World of Stuff.
Hello.
There you go. Oh, it's going to be an awesome show. So, TalkTalk. What a month it's been. For a start, I hate TalkTalk because they ruined last month's show, because it all blew up between the Thursday when we go out and the Friday when we go out, and it made it look like we just don't know what's going on.
Well, we don't know what's going on. That's fairly
no,
accurate.
we don't, but neither does TalkTalk. And you know, did you see that woman? She looks like Paul Merton, doesn't she? Well, I think she looks like Paul Merton. No, you don't. Remember? No, okay, fine. Well, she sits in the House of Lords for a start, right? Pulls down nearly 7 million quid a year. She's married to a government minister, and she can't even repeat the words SQL injection attack. She can't even repeat those words. She called it a sequential attack.
That could be a spell checker, you know.
Well, if she's got a spell checker that does that, it's about time she trashed it, really. So, yeah, that's the oldest one in the security book, Little Bobby Tables. So we thought we'd explain to you, out there in listener land, courtesy of Webcomic XKCD, which we mentioned a couple of months ago. Here's a little dramatisation of how an SQL injection attack works and takes down TalkTalk.
Hello.
Hello, this is your son's school. We're having some computer trouble.
Oh dear, did he break something?
In a way, did you really name your son Robert, close bracket, semicolon, drop table students, semicolon, dash dash?
Oh yes, Little Bobby Tables we call him.
Well, we've lost this year's student records. I hope you're happy.
Oh, I hope you've learned to sanitise your data inputs.
Yeah, see, that's how it works. And by the way, Bobby's sister is named Help, I'm Trapped in a Driving Licence Factory. They tried to say, TalkTalk, they tried to say it was a sophisticated attack by Middle Eastern terrorists. That's until the fuzz lifted 4 spotty kids from around the British Isles. They didn't know whether the data was encrypted until they told us it was encrypted, and then they told us it wasn't encrypted. Watch them squirm, watch them contradict themselves. They tried to keep it quiet a couple of days. Watch them keep you locked into your contract and offer you like £30.20 compo after you were stung for 3,500 quid, like that bloke that was in the register. You saw that write-up that poor kid got in the Daily Mail, didn't you?
No, I don't read the Daily Mail, do you?
No.
It was, well, okay, right, fine. Well, I don't, just specifically to be outraged, right? It's a hobby. Yeah, they said, ooh, he stays in his bedroom all day and he's got a skateboard. So how they knew he got a skateboard if he stays in his bedroom all?
Well, you can hear it upstairs, can't you? If you're on a skateboard in your bedroom.
Yeah.
They might have wooden floors.
Oh, right, yeah, because they're in Northern Ireland, and yeah, because they're almost as poor as we are, if not poorer. Thing is, right, it's like 1977 all over again, isn't it? You know, when it's illegal to skate.
Was it?
No, never mind. Your bit's later, right?
Sorry,
I'll
yes.
nudge you after, right?
Okay. I'll go back to sleep.
Just after your special jingle.
Right.
So, yeah, and by the way, he's suing the Daily Mail and the Telegraph because, I mean, like Post Levson, you're not supposed to put a kid's picture ripped off of Facebook all over your front page when he's 14 and he's only just been lifted like that nice Mr. Chris Jeffries in Bristol, right?
How's the Daily Mail supposed to know that?
Well, I don't know. Maybe because their editor went to Levson and sulked. Anyway, In similar news, 000webhost.com has just had, get this, 13 million usernames and plain text passwords lifted. And here's the best bit, one of them's mine. Right, write this down. My password was UPLA0DC0D3Z. What a total and utter shambles.
Nice password.
Very nice.
Yeah, it's
Wow.
it's an old beta meme. Let's talk about something a bit more fun before we have to tackle the new Snoopers Charter. Once again, we're going to tell you, because we seem to do this most months really, we're going to tell you about the valuable contribution that software is making to aviation safety. This month, we learned that a Qantas 737 scraped its back end on a runway when the pilot, with his iPad, they use iPads apparently, do these
They
do,
Qantas
yeah.
pilots? Yeah, because, no expense spared. He fat fingered the takeoff weight for the 737, like understated by 10 tons.
What?
Shouldn't they just weigh the things? Shouldn't that be automatic?
Well,
Strange.
How else? Where do they get the number from?
it's a bit of a
From the
long thing
clipboard.
to trundle it down the road to like a vehicle agency weighbridge, though, isn't it? Queue up with the HGVs.
Well, there must be just a place on the runway, isn't there?
Oh,
That's
in the landing gear.
somewhere.
That's way too advanced technology. They're using.
could-
No, I bet that's what they have. But then after they've done that,
They put it on a clipboard.
They write it down
Straight
and then they
in.
hand it to the pilot who
Pretty
types it
much.
into an iPad. That's
Yeah.
probably how it
Yeah,
works.
that's what happened. Yeah. And by the way, Paris Orly Airport, it seems bad to pick on them, but let's do it anyway. Paris Orly Airport, that's not the one people use. It had to close temporarily when its bad weather landing system went down. Turns out it runs on Windows 3.1.
Wow.
So it's been running for a while then.
Yeah, like
Stable. We call
1992,
that sort
yeah.
of software stable.
Yeah, the government minister said, well, in French, he said, we are going to replace it by 2017.
Ooh.
Okay, it's time to be scared. It's time to be very scared because it's back and it's worse than ever. Here's your Big Brother update.
Better dead than Red Brigade are listening on the line.
Yeah, even before Paris got beat up, the Snoopers Charter was back. Just for a change, let's ignore the privacy thing and look like, for starters, if some of the Paris murderers were already on the books, which is what we're being told, then how does this, snooping history thing work again?
Well, you get a lot of data. That's how it
Yeah,
works.
so you've got more data to look
Yeah.
through to find the same bad guys that you knew about in the first place.
Well, then they'll require more processing power to process the data,
Yeah,
and then they'll require more staff. So it's all good.
yeah.
It's good for the economy.
Good for the economy.
Well, we're going to get the more staff, which is not a bad thing if only the staff were actually after the bad guys instead of combing through data that's got, like your browser history and my browser history in it.
Technicalities.
Like this is going to cost you and me 247 million, according to the white paper. Except it's not going to cost 247 million, except they got this figure by completely omitting the ISP's costs, which are carefully listed as being unknown. Right? Except last time it was going to be 2 billion, also paid for you by you and me. And then they wonder why overheads are a bit higher in this country and we can't compete.
Well, they're unknown. That's why.
Yeah, we still got to pay it if it's unknown, haven't we?
Yeah, but it's a surprise.
It's not just the anti-terrorist officers that are going to have access either. It's like PC Plod has already got enough guidelines to memorise. Right, like, did you see the guidelines about how to deal with somebody flying a drone? I'm not making this up, 19 pages. Somebody got it through an FOI request. Apparently, if you plod and you're arresting somebody illegally flying a drone, do not attempt to land the drone yourself because it might hit somebody. And if Chummy flying the drone won't land it for you, just wait till the batteries run out and it drops and hits somebody anyway,
What
because
if-
that way it's going to be Chummy's fault, it's not going to be your fault as a policeman attending an incident.
What if they start attacking you with the
With the
drone?
drone.
I mean, do you still have to watch?
Well,
Did they cover all the possibilities, is what I'm trying to say.
first they're made out of plastic, right, unlike Armalite rifles.
What if you,
And second, you could just run Chummy with the drone in,
But as soon as you touch him, then you're responsible for what happens to the drone, aren't you?
Well, no.
Well, that's what they're trying to avoid, isn't it?
Oh, Yeah, but...
Always read
Oh,
the
to be a
fine print.
policeman in the 21st century, which is the point I'm making, right? How are you supposed to know which records you can access without a warrant and which records you've got to get a warrant for? And you know how long the Home Secretary spends on each warrant? Here's
Half
a
a
clue.
second.
Here's a clue. She does like 30,000 a year.
Yikes.
Wow.
So how long do you think she's spending with the red boxes scrutinising each warrant?
Probably about the same amount of time I spend checking for spam.
It's probably just to check you're not asking for a warrant for, like, the Queen. As long as it's not the Queen, you're all right.
Okay, yeah,
or,
right.
or themselves, like that Freedom
And
of
they got
Information
that
request.
recording of Princess Di exactly how? We don't worry about that. No, what we worry about is the spotty kids in bedrooms who are going to be lifting our data from TalkTalk, because that's exactly where all this data is going to be stored. TalkTalk. So now we've got that nice Mr. Osborne coughing up silly money for actual spook people, which is probably good, like people going up and going through the records. That's probably good. But a new national cyber security thing, which is basically subsidising TalkTalk to get their security up to snuff, right? That's going to be in Cheltenham, of all places. Now, why would we trust it if it's in Cheltenham exactly when it's next door to their colleagues whose job is secretly weakening security?
That might help,
Yeah.
It's going to be a lot easier for someone.
Let us guess which one of those is going to be helping the other, but not vice versa. I think we're going to need cheering up, aren't we, really?
Yes.
Probably.
Okay, it's time for mocking the Twitters again, because they're all restive. This time last month we were all happy. We could favourite a tweet just by clicking on the ickle star. That was nice, wasn't it? And it turned yellow. And then they changed it. No warning, suddenly the star turned into a heart. And the heart is pink and it's animated. We hate it forever. When you click it, bits fly off.
I didn't see that.
I
just
didn't
saw
see
the
that.
heart.
I don't see
Yeah,
that.
it's animated. Yeah,
somebody
do you
hacked
wanna
your
show-
phone?
No, I can't be. But I still haven't started that stopwatch.
Are you using Twitter or TweetDeck?
I've got the official Twitter thing on Windows 10 here.
Oh, yeah, I don't use that.
I'm on the website and I don't see the animated thing.
It does in Firefox.
Oh, strange. Maybe not Chrome.
No. I'm Firefox. And it doesn't work.
I read something that if you've got Chrome, you can actually even fiddle it so you get the star back.
Okay.
Because of big world matters, stars and hearts.
No, it
Yeah,
doesn't
it
at all.
does. Yeah,
Although
it does.
50% of people do like it and 50% hate it.
Yeah, so it's a win all round, isn't it?
It is,
Okay. This could only be IT stuff on BCB Radio 106.6 FM. So now it's time for a new feature on IT stuff. To talk about devices and hardware, here's She's World of Stuff. There you go. And this month's she's a nice new jingle that was.
Very
Yeah,
interesting. Thank you.
And this month's She's World of Stuff is all about chip, or should that be CHIP?
It is CHIP. It's an acronym for something which I don't know.
That's okay, because I don't suppose you were meant to remember the acronym with
I
a
don't
name
think
like
so,
that.
yeah.
No, okay, go on, tell us about it.
Well, it's I'm excited about it because we've been doing lots of stuff with the Raspberry Pi, and the first things we do with the Raspberry Pi is add a Wi-Fi or Bluetooth and
Sound card.
sound card. So we need a USB sound card in it, which kind of makes it bulkier and bulkier and bulkier and more expensive. But with a chip, which is apparently $9, so I'm not sure how that translates to the UK.
Yeah, tenner at least.
Yeah, it's £10.
Probably a tenner.
Yeah.
It's a lot smaller, and it has built-in Wi-Fi, built-in Bluetooth, and even a better sound support. So much more interested in that in terms of fast prototyping and putting it into tiny little projects. So that's basically what it is. It's or in between the Raspberry Pi and the Arduino. So if you're interested in similar projects, but you want the possibility of not having to put in too many peripherals into it, you just use a chip. So it's 1 gigahertz, it's half a gig of memory, and there's 4 gig of storage. But the best thing about this is it's open source hardware. They also have contracted people from the Free Electrons to support the mainline Linux kernel. So that's even better. They have dedicated software people. So that's something we are really excited about. So
The Pi people haven't got a flaming clue about the kernel. They rewrite the Git history every flaming time. It drives me up the wall.
Yeah, so I'm really interested in the chip.
The specs are already that bit better than the Pi B, aren't they? I mean, apart from all the extra stuff like the storage that you don't get, I mean, the speed and the memory is all good stuff. The only things I don't like about it is like the banana on the web page.
Yeah, that's probably. I have no idea why they Photoshop the brown spots, which is bizarre.
And they've got one of them shruggy things. They've got their own little shruggy. You know what a shruggy is, don't you? That stupid little cute thing that's made out of Unicode characters, you know, holding its arm. Yeah?
Yes.
It's a little icon, is it?
Yeah,
is it the icon?
cringy icon thing. Brill. What was the other interesting thing about it? Was that they've got over $2 million on Kickstarter. I mean, you know, they're not poor, are they?
They are very, very
Well
successful.
funded.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well funded.
It's a lot of $9. I mean, the thing is only just beginning to come out, so they've like shipped some beta tests to beta people, I guess.
They call it the alpha kernel hackers. So you have it in September, it's being out, and people are talking about it and discovering what it can do. But most people who have ordered it will have it next year, sometime in May or something, I'm not sure.
Sometime around there. And there's quite a nice sort of add-on which gives you a portable version as well, so that's nice. You get a sort of a little Game Boy-like thing with a little keyboard on it.
Yeah, I saw the pictures of that. That's actually quite cute, isn't it?
Yep.
It is, yeah. It reminds me of a scientific calculator for some strange reason, but
Yeah, it does. Yeah, a bit smaller, but you know, like brill.
yeah, it's awesome. So really looking forward to this and seeing what we can do with it.
Yeah, good stuff. Thank you. And another inaugural event we've got this month is our first visit from Paul of Bradford Photography Society. So you're here to talk to us about digital photography and cameras and anything that really pleases your mind. So as a sort of like a natural outcome of She's world of stuff, what would you like to chat to us about this month?
Oh, I think since digital photography has come in, it's brought more people into the industry. It's had a shot in the arm, and it's just the best thing that's ever happened, really.
Yeah, but people don't think of selfies as being photography, do they? As
That's
such?
more for the iPhone guys, you know, the telephone men, really. But it's a thing that come and it'll go, and we'll be off with something else. Because some of the most craziest selfies are the ones that are the most bizarre ones, where they're taking themselves in unusual positions, and I mean more into like the top of Everest rather than other things that might be going through your mind.
Yeah. There's this weird thing that people seem not to want to live in the moment, isn't it? You know, they want to capture it in through glass rather than.
Well, the word it's a new word, selfie. It's like something else, a new technology word that's come in, selfie. You know, I mean, and it's I think more for the younger people rather than the more, you know, preserved photographer.
Do you see it as being some sort of a continuity from people graduating from, you know, like the odd landscape from a park bench through to something more serious?
No, I think what's happened in the industry is that with the digital scene now, it's brought a lot more younger people into it, and that's good because they're the future. But they bring their own ideas, their fresh ideas. I mean, one of the things that's caught on with the new younger digital people is sort of street photography, things like that. So this is just another branch of that, really.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I guess with street photography, it doesn't really matter so much if because the thing that irritates me is when people don't even straighten the horizon. You know.
Well, that can be done later. That's not a problem.
Yeah,
but that is part of the art of the photograph, I suppose. You know, being upside down makes a new impression. I don't know. But I mean, the other thing with the phones, of course, they're a little bit more discreet than having a great big DSLR looking at somebody, you know. It doesn't catch as much attention, especially people who are wearing black uniforms. So they can get away with a lot more, really.
Okay, fair enough. Right, so that's really helpful. Thank you. Is there anything you'd like to plug this month, either hardware or software or events? Or
it's quite interesting because all the sort of manufacturers have been in this pixel race, up in the pixel rating cameras. It started off at 12, now they're nearly all 24 million pixels, and now suddenly Nikon and Canon have got into this race of up in again with a pixel race. And it's all really to try and catch the medium format people. That's what they're trying to do. They all give the same quality resolution. But it's quite interesting. Hasselblad have just made a 35 million pixel camera.
Wow.
So,
Wow.
actually it's not. It's 24 million. It's a Sony, but they're calling it a Hasselblad. But it's the first time they've ventured into DSLRs. Canon are bringing out a professional camera next year, which is going to be mirrorless. That'll be the first pro camera that's ever been made mirrorless.
Wow.
Yeah.
What about that magical, was it light field camera?
Lytro.
Lytro. Oh,
Yes.
yeah, Dick
I
Jones.
just-
It's again going back to your Kickstarter thing. It's in the sort of initial stages.
Yeah.
It ain't that popular yet. It's going to have to go a long way, I think.
I bought one from Amazon because it was discounted.
And
It was a fabulous toy for 4 days.
oh,
But then when I tried to export the pictures, they were less than a megapixel.
seriously?
Seriously, so I returned it.
Oh my gosh.
Well, thank you very much indeed, Paul. Is there any meetings or something that you want to
Yeah,
plug?
the Bradford Photographic Society meet every Thursday night.
Okay, whereabouts do you meet, and do you have a website?
The www.bradfordphoto.org.uk, and we meet at the Upper Bolton Conservative Club, which is in Bolton Road. It's Idle Road, actually, sorry, and that's in Bradford. It's just above Bolton Junction.
Yeah, I think I know exactly where that is. Yeah, brilliant. Thank you very much indeed. Right, now to round out the show, it's our local events roundup. Coda Dojo. We always start with that. Next one, 28th November. So that's Saturday morning, 9:30 to 12 o'clock in Little Germany. Come on, Mum, come on, Dad, turn your little monsters into evil geniuses. You book it via www.tickbradford.com/Coda Dojo. Highly recommended. Badonkadonk, we've just missed that one, haven't we?
Yes.
Okay, so it's what, 3 weeks to the next one? December the 9th, I think. That's the Chillaxed Get Together for local games developers, and that's on Wednesday evenings, second Wednesday of the month.
Correct.
In the Titus Salt.
Yeah.
You had fun at the last one, did you?
Yeah, it was more cozy. We have new members, so we always getting new members.
Yeah.
And no students that time, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
So it's a bit
So the Guinness
quieter.
wasn't reduced.
No, the
Two.
Guinness is always reduced, but
Okay.
students didn't. You can't trust students to
Can't
turn
trust-
up.
No. Must have had something better. Right, okay. Gamayo, Games Makers for Yorkshire. That will have been and gone by the next show. You were manufacturing some stuff for that on your kitchen table. Have I got this right?
I was, yeah. We are
Go on.
releasing our game on Gamayo. So it's going to be on Steam, hopefully, if Steam approves.
Yeah, we're waiting for them to get back to us.
Yeah.
You were, what, sellotaping up the bags and everything?
Yes.
What, with your cat playing on the table at
He's
the same
always,
time?
he's always there watching.
Yeah, right, okay, fine. And so for the purposes of that, I shall be officially handing you the IT Stuff dictaphone of interviewage if you are willing to take on the challenge.
I will try my best, so I will just steal some footage from the day.
Yeah, fine, good. The other interesting thing is Yorkshire Sound Women Network. There's 2 things coming up on that one, and they're both fully booked. But it is awesome, and you're going, aren't you?
I am, yeah.
You're going to the Hammond organ one, and if you don't bring back a recording on the dictaphone of interviewage, I shall cry.
Does the Hammond organ count as technology? I'm not sure it does.
Of course, it counts as
Everything's
technology.
technology.
Old technology.
You have to plug them in, don't you?
That's true.
Well, there you go then. Aye, okay. Read all about that at yorkshiresoundwomen.wordpress.com. Join the mailing list, and then you'll get in quick for future events, because God knows they sign up quick. While we're at it, Dick, you and your sis went to Old Camp in Liverpool, didn't you?
Yep, we did.
See anything good? What did you...
Lots of talks about privacy, technology, and Basically, we're all paranoid about Facebook.
Good. Your sister seemed to be about to get into Minecraft or something?
Yeah, she played with Minecraft on the Raspberry Pi 2,
Right.
and she really loved the good instant feedback you got when you typed something.
Right.
But since then it's worn off and she's lost interest.
You see, this is what happens when kids get above sort of like 16 years old. They just turn into adults like us that lose interest.
Yeah.
That's why Coder Dojo is so important. Okay, brilliant. Thanks very much, folks. That's about it for another month. But first we'll need to explain about this month's closing music. Since Linux kernel 4.0 came out, you can now update your kernel by patching a running system instead of rebooting it. This is known as Kcraft. And to celebrate the gift of Kcraft in OpenSUSE Leap 42.1, which came out on Mischief Night, oddly enough, they've just released a proper professional recording of Uptown Funk. Yeah, everybody I've mentioned this to reckons they've already seen it. I reckon this lies. It's only had like 9,000 views. Anyway, next week here on BCB, you've got films in the fan domain, and we're back in 4 weeks' time. So it's goodbye from me, and it's goodbye from her.
Hello.
Goodbye.